Hello, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns, and you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is part of Star Wars Saturdays, an ongoing anthology series set in the galaxy that is Star Wars. The timeline is after Return of the Jedi, somewhere approaching close to the timeline you may have seen if you've watched the Mandalorian series on Disney Plus. So the Empire has fallen into fragments, but still has sway and hold in certain sectors of the galaxy, while the New Republic is rising and trying to restore peace and free the galaxy from the tyranny of the Empire's evil clutches. We have set this game in an area fully under control of an Imperial remnant led by a man named Zsinj, who calls himself the warlord of the Empire, which I recently read in Wikipedia. Love that resource. He was killed by Han Solo in a very weird romance novel style Star Wars novel back in the day. So the Serenno is his home planet. It's where he's home base, except that he, Zsinj, has become sort of hands off in the day to day management of Serenno, specifically the capital city, Carannia City. The corps run most everything in Carannia City, and the primary corps are the mega corps are Kitsune, Media Corp, Ping, Osiris, and Yen Group. It's like I'm contractually obligated to pronounce the exclamation point. Otherwise, they're very litigious. We're playing a cyberpunk style game known as Neon City Overdrive, a clever little D6 pool system that I have quite enjoyed discovering with you all. I have come to enjoy it and appreciate it even more as people point out rules that I've missed. Thank you. I love it. So this Neon City Overdrive game set in Star Wars, that's right, we're putting some peanut butter with some chocolate, making some lovely Reese's cups, unless you're allergic to chocolate or peanut butter, and then think of some other combo that makes you happy. And that's what we're doing instead. We have a number of safety tools that are important. We have lines, veils, and ask first. Ask first means it's contextual. It's a thing that we may all as a group allow based on how we're feeling at that time. On top of that, the lines, veils, and ask first of all have been filled out within our character keeper. I'm looking at them right now, so we're good to go. And if people need to add stuff to that, that's totally cool. Layered on top of that is the X card, most important safety tool. It's a blunt instrument. It's not as refined or subtle or nuanced. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Not quite as nuanced as some other safety tools, because the X card is like a full stop. It's a thing where you declare an X card based on anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to tell the story of why it's already problematic enough that you had to X card it. But I know that we're all approaching this with the best of intentions, with no intent to try to tweak or make anyone feel uncomfortable. So if you X card, it was all in good faith. I may ask a question of what was X carded just to make sure. Then we excise it from our play and continue on. We have six beautiful brains here. I know that no thing, no piece of content that has been X carded will be an impediment to our fun. And then the last bit I'll say about X card before we go into introducing characters is, just because something's come up before, something has happened in previous sessions or 5 freaking minutes ago, you can still X card it. If you reach that point where it's going to cause you to feel so uncomfortable that you need to withdraw, it's just really harshing your vibe, man. It's cool. X card it. Hey, I need to X card this thing. And you don't have to say why, but just like say, I need to, for my own, so I can continue to enjoy this, you can X card. So just because you didn't earlier, you thought, oh, this is weird, but I'm going to roll with it. That doesn't mean you've obviated the ability to X card in the future, because your comfort level and your fun is way more important than the fake laser sword pew pew stuff that we're doing. So, with all of that out of the way, let's go around the horn and remind ourselves of our cyberpunks. I want to start with age before beauty. So that means that, well, Cody, the player, is probably not older than others. Cody's character certainly is. You may go first, Cody.
Alrighty, so hey, how's it going? I'm Cody. Today I'm playing Graphene Block Typo. Typo would be interesting. Block is a old dog on Serenno. He's a native son of Serenno for been around for many decades, since before the Empire and before the Republic, back when it was ruled by its rightful rulers, the Counts. He longs to see those days return. He's had enough of this galaxy-wide governments and republics. They never seem to get anything right. So nowadays he's working the chip off cantina, hacking away and making the Imperials' lives miserable in the hopes that he can find out a way to get him off his rock.
Best of luck, Block. Next up, we'll move from left to right on the character keeper, which means that Greg, you are up.
Hey, I'm Greg Gelder. He, him pronouns. I'm playing Taz. Taz? I don't know. We might be using Taz's second name, Karat, a little bit more, because Taz is supposed to be dead. At the end of last session, we faked the death of Taz, and so she's transformed a little bit. She's the heavy gunner for the crew, but now she has her right Leiku, which are the head tentacles on a Twi'lek, and also, at least according to legends, where they have their brains. So she has a computer interface now in that sort of articulated Leiku that she can, interface with computers now. Maybe take some of the weight off of Block. Yeah, and she now also, we had to change her drive. So now the debt that she owes to Osiris for that implant is her drive. Otherwise, Osiris is going to come and collect.
Nice. And do you think that this was maybe the Block Doc surgery went a little awry, and that's why you ended up having to get the cybernetic implant and the Leku damage, that kind of stuff? Or do you think
I think
all part
that
of the
was part of the plan.
Okay.
But I don't think she was like, she knew that she was agreeing to all the debt with Osiris, that the Black Doc kind of agreed to that for her.
I'm sorry, I didn't read the EULA.
Yes, yeah.
I just did a bunch of clicking. I had work to do, of course. My bills are just fine. Don't worry about it. No one else has complained before. Why would you complain now? Okay, there we go. I'm done. I did my Block Doc. I'm excited. Thank you very much, Greg. Leandro, you're up next.
Yeah, sorry. The resurgence of Block Dog for some reason made resurgence of my coughs come as it happened. Hi, my name's Leandro. Use he him pronouns. I'm playing Luna Sunfell, who uses they them pronouns. They are a bounty hunter who's used to a more refined kind of life, or a bounty hunter somehow. They have been stuck in Serenno for quite some time and would very much like to not be here, especially when there's so much opportunity out in the galaxy, what with the whole Empire collapsing and whatnot. Surely there are better things to do than to be stuck in a grimy cyberpunk city where the cola is made of unmentionables. And there are like 50 gangs, and their way of dealing with each other is to incorporate other gangs and further this spiral of gang v gang v gang. Luna has better things to do than that. So who knows, man? Will they get out of Serenno today? Who knows? They're gonna give it their best shot, though.
I wish you luck. Thank you very much, Leandro. Next up, Sherry.
Hi, my name is Sherry. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing Court, who uses she, her pronouns as well. And Court is an archaeology brat and a driver. And mostly she's a driver, and she steals vehicles for the use of the group. And, I really need to get some collateral damage going this session, though. That's my big plan. So, so anyway, I'm looking forward to this because we're going to wrap it up, and we're all going to try to see what our futures hold. And Kier, our Twi'lek friend, has an awesome new look. So I think Wouldn't that be it? We would still have to make it single syllable, right? So that will work.
Kier. Ooh, that's cool. Awesome.
Here is totally new.
Yeah, where's she come from? She's so
Yeah.
new and interesting.
Strange that she has the identical blaster.
Well, we picked that up and held on to it, just part of working at the chip off. So
Exactly. And last but not least, Stephen, you're up.
Hi, I'm Steven. My pronouns are he, him. Today I'm playing Heat, whose pronouns are he, him as well. Heat is a former cybernetic stormtrooper, HT-37, experimental stormtrooper. Not everyone knows that, but he has a lot of implants from the old days and, screw plates where his armor used to be. And he's been traveling from location to location trying to do penance for his past deeds that he's now come to see as not being as good as not being beneficial to the society as a whole. And so one of those things is he just stuns. He doesn't shoot to kill if he can avoid it. So
Cool. Okay. In last session, we ended after you guys had some run-ins and decided some run-ins with the Empire, decided to take care of Taz's whole Razor Girl problem. You set up as in Luna's intro there, you set up another gang v gang confrontation, and were able to make it appear as if Taz was killed in action. And Taz is gone. Long live Kira? I don't know. Not Taz. And by the way, if someone screws up, we'll just assume that in post-production there was some voiceover work and it was all fixed up and it's no big deal, nothing to stress out about. Some time has passed, and yeah, I think we maybe have this intro, which is a series of like montages showing people in action. We see Taz getting the bill from Osiris and realizing all that she has, all the zeros that she has to take care of. We see Court heading back to work for Yin Group and making some hot deliveries. And as she's doing so, you're watching, there's on the little holo display within your speeder, there's a big contest that's ongoing for you can win a night with Kofuku before her big concert in Carannia City. And we jump down to see Block. Like, do you spit into glasses before you wipe them out, Block, or do you just kind of wipe them down? I'm just curious. Is that
Just wipe them down? There's no reason to be spitting in there. I don't have that implant added yet. The hyper clean spit. Yeah,
okay?
That one.
Yeah, that would be an implant worth having, I think. But yeah, until then, no spit, just clean. So it's legit clean. That's good stuff. And yeah, Block, you've got a smaller crowd than we're used to, right? The break-in by the Empire has scared off a lot of the locals. It's not yet a problem, but it could be a problem. And
Is there any chance that while the locals have kind of scattered, the fans, the stands of Kofuko have like started coming into the bar more because they're like, last time we were here, there was a real stormtrooper crackdown.
Of course. And that's, of course, driving away more of the locals because they just want a nice, quiet pub. And all of these yuppies have come in here and they're taking over your bar. It's terrible.
Yeah, but man, their credits do spend. That's the thing.
You're not wrong. Those credits. I love that there are 2,356 implants created before sterilizing spit. Cool. And then the last thing in our catching people up is that we catch vision of Heat. Now, Heat, where is it that you lay your head at night? Where do you stay?
yeah, I think I have one of those cheap rental apartments that's like you pay by the week, and it's kind of a hovel. It's just got a mattress on the floor, and sparse, no real furnishing. I doubt he has many people come over. I think that Court and maybe Block have seen his place, and that's just because they were hiding out real quick. They were in the neighborhood. They could pop in, but it was kind of a safe place at that point.
Cool. Okay. And is this a kind of, is it an out of the way place, or is it one of those that's cheap, you could rent by the hour? They're probably very seedy folks who live around you and you're just, stuck in the middle kind of deal? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's more of the latter. It's kind of in the slums. It's where people who are down on their luck go to, just eke out. It's one step above being out on the street.
Okay. So like a pretty nasty flop house. Cool. So I'm going to ask something of you and then give you a little bit of time. What I'd like is to know a bit about one of the nightmares the Heat has, because I'd like you to tell us a little story about a nightmare of a time or of something that Heat fears. Now I'm going to slip over to Luna, though. Luna, where is it that you live, right? You've got this crap job as a bartender. You don't have enough money saved up. I don't know. Where do you lay your head, Luna Sunfell?
I think it's an apartment right behind like a big neon advertisement screen.
Oh, man.
So it's, for one, it's always disgustingly warm. And two, it's never not bright. um and well, I say never not bright, but there's always never not bright. So Lou always has like the curtains just fully shut.
Oh God. Oh, for me, can it be like, the louvered blinds type thing? So you can totally have that Ghost in the Shell moment of like it's dim and there's just this pink slit through there, and then you like hit one button, it flicks and it's just washed in neon.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, you can't really see out through the screen except for like split seconds when the advertisement changes. Uh so you can't even get a good view of the city. And I think Luna's place, which is probably like, a 3-room apartment, it's not the best. It's a place they've tried to like keep clean, but it's like Spartan because they didn't expect to be staying here for this long. But like there's a point where like it you just kind of like, well, not lose control, but like uh stop caring a bit, because in Nuna's mind they're not sticking around here for this long. So they can afford to like maybe let this place go a bit, but that was a while ago, and
It's continued to have been let go.
yeah, like just empty boxes of where ramen used to be, or
Nice.
Star Wars equivalent. Um,
That'd probably
ramen.
be ping bowls.
Oh, okay. They've stopped eating those now.
Good call. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. And does Luna, I imagine, but you confirm, Luna's not a neighborly sort. They just
Nah.
come home,
There's
exist, and then go out.
There's a place where a bed exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's circle back to Heat. I want to know, what is the thing that troubles you when you sleep?
Yeah, so I think what we see on camera is, Heat's former days, and he's being, we see kind of the heads up display, and we see an officer step up in the Empire, and they hand out like a little card and slide it in, like into a slot on his chest, and we start seeing a readout, and then he gets in like a little pod that gets jetted out, and we see that pod then land on a planet, and he steps out and he sees all of these evil people, evil rebels who are coming at him, and he's just, knocking them down and killing them left and right, and making good sweeps, just bashing them with his hand and then shooting one or two. And all of a sudden we see the tartar kind of go haywire in the HUD that he has, and it's off to the left. You see this bolt, this blasting, this bright light come in and smash, and the camera kind of slips out, and we see where part of the helmet's now been destroyed on Heat. And as he's walking forward, we see kind of a split screen view, and we see desperate, people who are hungry and in the hovel. And then on the other side of the image, we see these evil, people who are jumping after him, and, almost, full of drug dealers and just, people who are coming after and threatening his life. And basically, these two images are kind of superimposed. And I think that he stops and hesitates and, shoots at the people, who are coming in who are evil. But as he turns, he recognizes that that field of vision isn't realistic. And I think at some point he stops what he's doing and is kind of overwhelmed. And one of the last things we see is other pods like his landing on this planet, and then everything goes black. And then I think we get kind of a montage scene of him being repaired and reprimanded for not doing his job well enough, and all of that. Yeah. And then he starts awake and he's covered in sweat, and it's still the dead of the night, and there's light flashing outside, and we hear noises from the surrounding apartments. And he, kind of sits up a little bit and shrugs it off, takes a sip of cool water that he keeps there next to the bed, and kind of sits up to spend the rest of the night sleepless.
Nice. Kudos. We pick up with Block at Chip Off Cantina, and yeah, kudos. So we pick up at Block at the cantina the next day. There are some folks who are here, all the Kufoku fans, fanboys, fangirls, fan others, fans who are all kind of here, and they're all watching the holo screen as they are going over the announcement of the winner of the spend the night. Of course, it's done salaciously, of course, but Kufoku is not that kind of entertainer. But spend the night with a night with Kufoku, and the announcement is being made as Court and Heat, the two of you, are entering the bar. Luna, you're already behind the bar. Taz, you're watching over the bar. And the announcement is made that I'm sorry? Someone started to say something.
I was going to say that I think Karat, as she needs to have a different identity, she might be like the janitor of the bar now. And so like where we've had an issue where like nobody wants to clean up the spills, now it's Taz's job to do that instead. So like we don't have a bouncer anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
The alternate identity. Yeah.
This is nicer clientele. It's all a bunch of archaeology brats. And then the face comes up on the holo, and Luna, you look out to the holo right from behind from the bar, because who wouldn't be at least slightly interested? The winner, there's a gasp from the archaeology brats as you recognize her. It's Erie, the girl who hid behind the bar with you, Luna, that weeks ago had said we should do something sometime. Did you follow up on that, or not, Luna?
I think if I remember correctly, what Erie said was like, "Can I come to you for help again in the future?" And it was like, "Sure, whatever. I won't be here." And that they keep thinking that every week, and it never comes true. See, yeah, I think maybe like Erie, like tries to keep in touch. Maybe the answer is once or twice every couple of days, because I think we established that they are secretly also, well, no, yeah, so they're secretly a Kofuku fan as well. Um, um, so I think like when Luna kind of like sees this, their main thought is just that they've been. I think Erie's been bugging them about this contest for the past couple of days.
Mhm.
And it was like, yeah, cool, okay, just don't do fraud, just it'll be actually no, yeah, it'll be fine. You don't need to make it's a contest.
Well, it turns out that Erie won.
I
And
think like
yeah.
Luna just kind of like rolls her eyes and is kind of like, oh god, I'm gonna hear so
That
much
there's a
more of
text that comes through on your comm unit. It is the letter, and of course this is translated, but basically E, and it's from Erie.
Luna texts back, something good happened.
I won. 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 I won.
Cool. And Luna goes back to work. And then they go back to work, and then this is like to meet Kofuku, right?
Yes, to meet the
Yeah.
the shiningest, brightest celebrity in all of Carannia City, Kofuku.
So I think Luna goes back to work for like maybe a few minutes, and then texts back. Is there a +1 there with that prize?
And she texts back, "No, I'm sorry. It's just me. It's crazy, all the security stuff I have to go through."
Well, you've got nothing to worry about. You're clean as a whistle compared to most kids, right?
Thanks to you.
Yeah. Well, why don't you I'm sure there'll be a fun story to tell to Kofuku when you do get to meet her.
I can't wait to tell you all about it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. We haven't met up since, right? We should probably do that.
Yeah.
Before or after. I don't mind.
After, they're already coming to pick me up.
Oh, well, well, uh,
But I will. I'll come see you. I promise.
yeah. Well, don't embarrass yourself too much. A little embarrassment is fine. Pop stars are used to that.
I don't even know what to say.
And Luna leaves her on red for that after that message.
Cool. So we cut to Block as you get a message from your fixer. The male Chiss calls himself Janice. He says, "Are you free? I've got work."
Block replies, "No, sorry, I just won my night with Tofuku. Yeah, I'm free. What do you got?"
You totally entered that contest, didn't you?
100%. 100% blocked it.
Nice.
Multiple entries. He did some hacking. He thought it was for sure in his favor, but what are you going to do?
Cool. So yeah, Janice says, "If you've got any of your team, I'm on my way there in 2."
Got it. Block kind of does his scan across, sees Luna working the bar next to him, gives them a nod, finds Kira in the back. Janice is going to be coming by, so keep your Liku up. How do you hear? I don't know. You got ears. All right, you know what to do. And he goes and finds Court and Heat, and similarly, we got work coming in, so let's let the clientele calm down a bit so we can take 15 back there with Janice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good. So Janice walks in, looks around, a little surprised by the age level and dress of the clientele. And he'll head over to, I imagine, Block, you're at your booth.
Block's actually waiting for Janice to walk in, and as soon as he sees the chiss in the doorway, he kind of like calls out to everybody. He's like, "It's karaoke night," and he brings the machine out and sets it up. So now the bar, no one's gonna be paying attention to them or listening to them. So he
Taz just is very sadly setting up the
yeah
the microphone and pulling out the old archival jukebox.
Yeah, it's like the bottom half of an astromech and the top's a speaker. But yeah, definitely. So as soon as that happens, Chiss, he Block then limps over to meet with the Chiss.
Okay. Gotta pay the bills, I guess, he says, looking over at all the ecology kids as they're like arguing over which Kofuku song to sing first.
And listen, it pays the bills, Janice. Sometimes better than your jobs do, I tell you what.
Well, listen, there's a group known as the Citizens Collective. Heat, why have you never joined the Citizens Collective, which is a small-time activist group here on Carannia City? Like, what is it about them that where Heat's decided, yeah, they're not a group that I want to join?
I think that they're secretive. They kind of lay low, and they kind of have like cells, so no one really knows who all's a part of it. And Heat is too obvious. I think that if Heat joined that collective, then it would be very obvious and be an inroads for the Empire to get after them.
Okay, too obvious. Got it. Totally makes sense. Awesome. So he says, Citizens Collective, they're this activist group. They have some intel on a ping factory farm. There's some information from a recent hit that was leaked, and they poured through it. They suspect that the hydroponics farm, which is in the Mid-City Industrial Zone, is making some tainted foods. So they've gathered together some creds, and they want some individuals to go in and get some information, get some samples, pictures, that kind of stuff.
Interesting. Well, since it just keeps coming back to ping, doesn't it? What do you think, guys? Is that something that we could do?
What kind of tainted? So we know what we need to get pictures of.
There are a few reports that were in the information leaked that there's the power for that grid, the nuclear facility, is right some near the runoff is heading right near the farm itself. So could be irradiated foods, the suspicion.
Okay.
Why aren't they just going to do this themselves?
Because every time, as soon as Ping found out about this leak, they've increased security and locked everything down.
What
How do we
kind
know
of
that-
security? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, what kind of security?
Yeah, that's where it gets to be a very profitable mission for you guys, because They've put in a special request to Zsinj, and there are stormtroopers in the area.
How do we know that this is a legitimate job? That this is really the collective requesting this and not Zsinj or not a trap?
Do your research. If it turns out that they're working through a channel that is compromised on my part, I'll give you a stipend for finding that out. You don't go on the job, and we're clean. And I'll not use that channel anymore to get you guys work.
It's a good thought, Heat. I think we'll definitely need to be doing that before we say yes to that.
Okay. Good. Looking forward to it. Let me know either way.
You'll hear from us.
Okay. And he'll get up and head out.
Yeah. When Janice leaves the table, Block will, dish out some nods to customers and stuff like that, and give a thumbs up to whoever's currently singing. And then he says, "That was a good call, Heat. I'll get right on that. And if there's stormtroopers involved, we'll definitely want to be on our toes."
And TK might be able to help with that too.
TK, who's TK? Oh, here, man, you and your names. All right, yeah, we could, yeah, maybe. All right, let's see what we can slice.
Cool. So it sounds like you want to do some slicing, and you might be getting some help. That sounds cool.
Yeah, so it sounds like what I specifically want to be doing is I want to be poking around the channels that Janice is using to get this job. Is that right? Like, I want to make sure that the user names, the IP addresses, whatever, all this tech jargon that we all understand, of course, is all on the up and up. It makes absolute sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yes, cool. That is what you're trying to do. So build your positives. I'll tell you that there's a surprising amount of misdirects that, Heat's suspicion about this activist group is that they're way too sloppy. This communique was pretty tight. So you are looking at 3 negative dice coming your way.
3 negative dice. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, did they just...
Can I roll to assist?
You may.
Okay.
And remember, with roll to assist, you don't roll with any negatives, and then the positives and boons that you get from that assist will pass over to Block when he makes the rolls. So,
okay. So I'm going to roll for a piece of gear real quick to assist me on this. I'm just going to roll one of these dice, pull it over here. Come on, lucky dice. More than
how many tags?
I have more than 3. So I have my deep net Leiku translator. So the Twi'leks use Leiku signals to communicate to each other, and this allows me to do that basically on the web.
That's cool.
So I guess 1 for doing it. Cyber organs, but I'm not going to take any of the toxin filter. I got a computer interface, and then I'll just pull the encrypted thing. It is intuitive and also wireless, but I'm not sure that really applies. So I'll just roll, let's see, 4, right?
Yeah.
4 greens over here. Everyone see the dice that I've pulled over? Is it
yes.
Here? Okay, there we go.
5. There you go.
Yeah, your best is a 5. Okay, with a 5, you are handing over a die.
All right, so building my dice pool. I'm trying. I am a jammer. I have an edge of slicing, and I have the equipment, my computer data pad, concealed portable accurate, that console, and I'm getting help from Kier. So that's 5 positive versus 3 negative.
Okay, good luck.
Me select all these bad boys, all these bright neon pink dice.
I love that everybody's going with bright dice. That's
gotta.
really cool.
All right. Okay.
Oh my.
So I'm going to take a stump point to boost a 5 to a 6, and I'm going to use another to drop the 6 to a 5. Can I do that? Is that how that works?
Yeah, so you're dropping the -6 by 1 and raising one of your 5s to a 6.
Yep, exactly.
So 2 stump points to get through.
Actually, you know what? No, I got 2 5s. A 5 and a 6 becomes an absolute success, right? I'll I want to be out of resources. You know, I don't want these stump points. I want them out of here. But I think absolutely succeeding on this part might give Block too much of a heads up if things are going to go south. So I'll take a 5. I'll take the one unanswered 5 for the success.
Nice. So you track back, checking into things, and as you're lining up like the user ID, you realize that this user ID is attached to an activist group that's posted on a bunch of fora. Really, fora should be the plural version of forums. I hate saying forums. I always want to say fora, but that's fine. It's my hill that I'll die on. But you pick out, Block, that this ID was like deleted and recreated. And that's the one part, that partial success, that feels weird. It gives you this sneaking suspicion that like this is the person, but is it? Like this user ID, was it cloned? Was it hijacked by somebody?
Yeah, there's almost no good reason for that exact thing to happen unless they accidentally deleted their account. But you know what I mean? Like that doesn't happen. So I think that sends up a bunch of red flags in Block's mind about who this job could be coming from.
You're gonna have to ask for some help.
Taz will tell you that this the way it feels to her with this whole Leiku interface thing, it feels like her uncle who would always tell fake war stories, and he would tell them repeatedly with his like Leiku dance thing, but they were never true. It's how it feels.
Yeah. What do you think, Kier? Do we tell Janice? Do we bail on this? Do we see how far it goes?
Kira will sort of think about it for a second. She says, I'm in too much debt to pass this job up. Legit or not, I need the credits.
You're not kidding. I had to sell to that doc to get you that surgery. That put me back more than I'd like to admit. All right, well, let's keep that in mind. Kier, you go let everybody else know what we found. I'll contact Janice. So yeah, I'll Block will contact Janice and kind of ask for further details. But I think he still wants Janice to know that they should be more aware of the fora that they are using or what have you.
Cool. So you're giving Janice the heads up. Hey, this may be compromised, and he does assure you, like, you're gonna get paid. Like this money's already.
It's already in the accounts. It's already in
the account. Like who, as far as he's concerned, he doesn't want you guys to get set up, but they paid, and he is happy to hand over that fee.
Do you know, Janice? Did whoever hired you? Do you know if they had contracted any other groups or any other people, or just you?
Just me. I got first look.
Why do you get first look, Janice?
Because I'm a super user on that gig account. I basically have a hold on it. I've got 24 hours. And if I pass on it or don't fulfill it, then it goes to
All right. All right. Okay. All right, Janice. Well, we're taking the job.
Okay. I appreciate it. My bank fees appreciate it. Having to refund that's not fun. Okay. So he will end the communique.
Yeah. Block hangs up, and he's feeling more and more uneased about what the situation is. It feels so clearly built. The fact that Janice would be the only one to get the job, it's a convenient excuse that, oh, he's a super user, he gets kind of the first look deal. But it feels, I think when the first red flag goes up, when they were looking at this user being deleted then recreated, now Block is paranoid. He sees Imperials behind every move. And now he's like, well, if they know who I am, if they know who we are, they know Janice is our fixer. They're going to come to Janice first. So Janice giving that excuse, it's like, okay, that's logical. That is how those systems work. But is it? Like that's where Block's at. Right?
I love it. I want this, to feel sketchy.
Yes. So that
we are
Block,
on the same page.
And I don't know that. I think Block can't help himself from telling this to everybody. I think Block makes sure everyone knows, like bring an extra gun. There's something's going to go wrong, or something isn't going to go like it should.
We know that they're expecting us, right? So can we use that as a diversion in the sense of, how do you say, a fake, like it'll seem like we've started the thing in one place and that's not where we're at, and we go around somewhere else.
It's a good thought, Court. So we play off what we expect them to be expecting.
Yes.
And we go one layer deeper than that. We hack one layer deeper into the code. I love it. I love it. Now we just got to figure out what that first step's going to be. All right. This is good, Court. And Block kind of wanders off, like to pour a drink or something, but he's like, this is good, Court. This is good.
Okay.
Carannia is going to go over to Luna at the bar and convey this information, right? Because I was going to do this, passing along to the other members of the team. And when she tells Luna, she says, and hey, listen, if this goes south, you can shoot me in the back, but don't miss.
What?
I can't get captured alive out there.
Okay. This is a bit more dramatic than Luna was expecting. It's the very black kind of
The very Star Wars sense, Taz just ends the conversation with, I've got a bad feeling about this.
They're just kind of like okay, all right. Do you want a pithy one-liner again, or you good with just being shot in the back?
I'll leave that part up to you.
Sorry, I just have to ask, since you went through so much trouble to get out of one death only to land in another death, why are you so willing to get shot this time, when last time you went through this whole thing to get out of it?
This time it's the Empire.
Wow. Okay, all right, that's a bit more understandable than some gang, I suppose.
Gang. That's what they'd expect us to do.
Yeah, they would expect us this time. Okay. So I'm assuming we're not going to do that.
Well, I think we're going to pretend to do that.
Okay. I think Luna starts pouring themselves a drink. What's funnier, if we do bring in another gang, or if we don't bring in another gang?
I think it's the rule of threes, right? I think we got to bring another gang. I think that's
Well,
the only way to do it.
I think that's our SOP, right? That's
Yeah.
what they would expect us to do is contact a gang and try and frame them into something to do this. That's what they're expecting us to do, and that may be where we can spring a trap on them or something.
So if we
okay.
can get some kind of fight going right there on the street by the thing, they'll think that's the approach. That's where their attention will go.
Or will they think that's our diversion is the fight? So then we send another gang to enter elsewhere, and they'll be on that second flag, like lickety split, leaving the first group, the first gang, which is in fact us, to walk right in. No.
I think you give the Imperials too much credit, Block.
Yeah, if only they had somebody like me on their side, they'd be thinking moves ahead. Can I when there's an opportunity, I'd like to no, never mind. I think Block will spend his like time being paranoid and like checking the movements and records and stuff like that of Imperials in the city, but I don't actually want to know any of that data. I don't need to know it.
Can you look in to see if there is that radioactive or the power plant that is runoff is running by that place? Like if they bothered to make it even legit sounding?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, I can do that. I'll do some digging to make sure the setup. I love that we're like so certain it's a setup now. That this setup, is it even believable? Is that even like, is it close enough to this agricultural facility to make sense for what they told us? Or are they hoping we do no looking into this? All right, yeah, I'll look into that.
Rock on. Is anyone helping Block out?
So I like the idea of us potentially using Boars, right? He's the one who originally got in to ping the first time, right?
Well, we think Boris has been taken by Ping, right?
Oh,
Remember, he got boosted,
No,
but we don't know that.
we don't know that.
Yeah, Yen.
Oh, was it Yen Corp who boosted? Okay.
Well,
okay.
yeah, because Ping had him, and then
Right.
Yen Court.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could pretend to be Boris.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense either, right? Because we know they should.
Kind of a little convoluted there. Yeah.
Although it's perhaps the best. Yeah. So unless anybody's going to help, I think I'll have 4 dice to attempt it. I don't know how difficult it'll be to gather this info.
1.
Okay. Let me delete these 2. We got this. 4 dice. 1 negative. Easy peasy. All right. So my negative is a 6, which blocks out my 6.
Oh,
My next highest is a 4. So I'll go ahead and take that 4.
Sweet. Here's what you get, Block. The placement of where the nuclear power facility for the grid is right there. There's this like runoff ditch that does seem to run near the hydroponics, but from a cursory glance, it looks like the original track lines of where the runoff ditch is goes out to some river that runs it away, and it clears it for government purposes. But when you pull up some SATCOM information for updates, you see that the gridding is off. Like what's officially put out and viewable, that's why it was only 1 negative. And versus the reality of the fact that this ditch has been cut way too close, it is entirely possible that there's some runoff that could be sliding past the hydroponics.
Yeah.
Closer look would give you a for sure, like a visual showing up, but from the data that you have, your partial success, it certainly seems like it's a possibility. Like it doesn't seem out of bounds that this could be a thing going on.
Okay. So yeah, with that, I'll take that to let Court know. based off where these things are situated, it seems like it's real what the suggestion is. And maybe it's just my paranoia, maybe it's just my fake arm, itching, but why would they, if there is somebody else behind this, and maybe I'm the only one who's still thinking it, why would they give us something good? Why would they give us something we could use? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Cool. So, I mean, it's looking more and more like it's a tempting thing. Like we're going to find something worth our while there. Yeah.
So, then how do we want to approach this? We got the diversion, but what kind of proof are we going to need? And I mean, we still have to be able to do the core job, right? Okay.
You say the court job?
Core job.
The core
What
job.
we've been
Yeah.
paid to do.
Right. So the core job, yeah, let's go over. The core job is to go into this facility and get hard data on what's actually happening there. Not just what's in servers and stuff, but like photos, holos, stuff like that. That is what the job has been hired to do from a citizens group. And then there is that layer of suspicion that there are more stormtroopers in the area, and this account was deleted and recreated that posted this job. So there's yeah. So we expect there to be Imperial entanglements, I guess, is what we expect there to be. So in our traditional move of bringing in a third party, a gang of some sort to cause a ruckus, we could do that to distract the stormtroopers after we've already made our approach to get in. What are the other folks thinking about this whole situation?
As loath am I to commit to a trick again and again, it's worked out pretty well for us every time we've used it. Well, barring looks at their leg, barring that one incident.
Well, I'll say we hit the sick boys pretty hard. I don't think they're going to be coming back anytime soon. Obvious reasons I don't want to tangle with the Razor Girls, and the White Rabbits know our face. That leaves us with the Vulture Gang and the Hat Reds.
The Vulture Gang hate us.
I guess we don't make a lot of friends, do we?
Well, you were kind of mean to that one guy, right? So,
Well, what if we use this hatred to our advantage? What if we put it out there? We make it obvious that we're going to be one place, that we're going to be near this factory. It's a calculated risk.
We make it obvious that we are doing a job, and we make the evidence that it's a setup obvious, so that someone else is enticed. Someone else can't pass up the opportunity to try and get us when we're at our weakest. What they don't know is that we're planning for it. Is that what you're suggesting, Curat?
That's what I'm suggesting.
good, then we're going to have the stormtroopers and the vultures after us at the time. That sounds like a great plan.
I love that all our plans are basically could be their own job just to set up the actual job.
I appreciate that you guys have held true to your idiom. It's good stuff.
So we it's a makings of a great plan right there. There's just one like crucial step missing that leverages the two people against each other. I'm sure the vultures or the whichever gang the vultures, if that's what we want to go with, they don't have no love for the Imperials. Surely they would. What do we post a job? Do we post a bounty on one of us that we make sure the gang gets, so that with the understanding that if we get caught by the Imperials, they'll try to blast us out and then collect. And then we just reveal, haha, we created the job. There's no money here for you.
Oh, that sounds like a good way to get you guys really killed.
Yeah, I know, it's playing with fire. It definitely is. It's just, I'm trying to think what that looks like. I don't know. It's a contingency plan, you see.
That's just so silly.
Listen, it always breaks down in the first act anyways. So I think we just need to plan the first move and we'll improvise from there.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
We can make it obvious that we're somewhere nearby. Draw the vulture gang in. And
Wow. Well, the real meat of the matter is taken care of near in the where we're meant to be.
So if we know what kind of vehicles are moving in and out of the place, we could probably that's a way to get in quietly. So if you want to do diversion, that's cool. But we still have to get in for reals. So I'm thinking that might be a way.
I like that. And if we still want to give our presence elsewhere, I'm sure it wouldn't be any trouble at all for me to disrupt some data and suggest our location is elsewhere. Maybe even like, place us on a street corner nearby or something in some of the cameras.
That's
play
a good
around
idea.
with that.
Yeah. So we're going to change up our MO. They won't be expecting it. Okay.
Okay. Do you guys have enough formulated to kind of walk me through the plan that you're settled on?
Yeah. So I think the plan that we've settled on, of course, is that it's all going to work out great. Court is going to get her hands on a vehicle that matches what is currently going into and out of the facility that we want to get into. When they have that vehicle, we are going to drive. All of us are going to go in that vehicle inside to get the data. While we're inside the vehicle, I am going to disrupt the data of a nearby location, not too far away, close enough that it looks like we're on the job, and give the implication that we are there. And that ping's going to go out to the vultures. It's going to go to the stormtroopers that we expect to be nearby. It's going to go out to that facility. So we're going to make our presence known, but it's going to be outside of the approach we're actually taking. After that, question mark, step 4, profit.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'd like to add on that we're going to have a delayed reaction. So once the vultures and the stormtroopers kind of zero in on our location, what I'd like to do is set up that location that we've already set up with basically a trap. So literally, I think what we do is we set up some ground bazookas and some droid poppers, some stun grenades. So everybody gets there looking for us, and that's whenever these all go off. And everybody drops, or a large number of people drops, and they call in reinforcements. That makes a lot more buzz around that area. What do you think?
I like that. It creates something that happens so that they don't just get there, realize we're not there, and turn around.
That's right. And they call in reinforcements and try and get more people there.
Definitely. That's good.
And I think possibly to heat surprise, Karat says, let's just use the droid poppers. I'm a little tired of the lethal approach.
Yeah. I think he kind of, gives TK, Karat, a pat on the shoulder and says, yeah, I understand.
Nice. This sounds quite plannish. And once you settled on it, kind of like straightforward. I like it.
Yeah, they're going to be surprised. They're going to expect something far more convoluted, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Because I'm sure
So
they've been studying us.
you guys, of course. One of them's like, why don't we just arrest them? We don't need an excuse. We're the
That's a good
Imperials.
point, Rich. Layers within layers.
Okay. So you guys hash out your plan. You've got things all set to go. Are you going that night, or are you doing something in the wee hours? Like, when do you think you're launching plan Zeta Epsilon?
I think my thought on that is I think we would want to go for a time when the area we're sending them to is busy. It's not easily verifiable that nobody's out, if that makes sense. So, you know, and it would have to be a time that matches up with when Court finds that their vehicles are coming in and out. Is if there's a shift change, if there's like a specific thing. So my guess is it'll probably be like during the day, honestly.
Yeah, makes sense. You're like an 8 a.m. thing.
Or perhaps, end of day, night's just starting to fall. The skies are soaked in neon and rain, but it's busy.
Nice.
Shift change.
Good. So you guys hash out the plan. You've got your time set, and then we pick up with Court. You're heading out of the Chip-Off Cantina. Did you stick around for a while, or did you end up going out on some gigs after the plan was all hashed out?
I think she went out on gigs, because here's the thing is that she's training Eternity up to become a driver for Yencourt.
Nice.
Yeah, and he can't afford the license classes, and all that stuff. So she's actually like taking him through all of it so that he could just go take the test and pass without having to pay for the classes. So she essentially is picking up a bunch of gigs that are good illustrations of the things he needs to know. And then he rides.
He rides the co-pilot with you while you're doing all the training. Oh, that's awesome. So you're running on a few gigs, just run-of-the-mill stuff. Then a priority customer comes through. Is one of those, like, you can't swipe away. You got to go pick that person up. They've got VIP or the closest ping. And when you skim in, it's one of the like upper level apartments, right? So they have these landing pads for this floor. Every floor has a landing pad for the Yen group driver. And it's nice. It's not as ostentatious as most of the VIPs you picked up, which might set off a little bit of not an alarm bell, but like, oh, this is interesting, different. And
Does it
then
look like a rental?
Yeah, it certainly looks like a rental. And then stepping out in wearing like slicks and leathers and these shoes that have like little flames on them is a purple skinned female Kashiri, who works for Yen Group. Her name's Joji.
Oh. I'm like,
and her hair's wet because it's raining outside because cyberpunk, right? And she quickly goes in and ducks in and gets into the speeder. You've already programmed in where you're supposed to take her.
Yeah. And I go, hey, you're a pilot for Yen Group, aren't you?
Yeah. Court. Who's the kid?
This is Eternity, training up to be a driver.
That's not on your schedule.
It is not. Sometimes you got to bank a few jobs at once, right?
You've always been a multitasker. Listen, I was hoping to just talk to you.
Okay.
Can we trust this kid?
Absolutely.
Your crew took that job, right?
Yes. With the knowledge that it's probably a trap.
Maybe. Let's just say it's real important that that dirt happens.
Okay. Wait. I think you just said something far cooler than I am, and it makes me sad. Let's make certain that dirt happens. And I look at eternity. I don't know what that means.
Joji says, well, you made sure that we got a certain slicer, which we did. We got some information.
Oh, that kind of
really
dirt.
dangerous from ping. Game Group's always looking to expand into new offerings.
I just thought you meant grave dirt. Okay, no problem.
She pulls out her data pad, writes that down. Attorney's like, oh, wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
Now,
I think we could do that.
good. Good. And this activist group, it's perfectly fine that they get the information. Just make sure that it gets out in case they try to sit on it and use it for blackmail.
Oh, okay. Can do that.
Good. Good. And then you end up taking her like 4 blocks. You're done. So she
Yeah. Set her off. Set her down at like probably where she's actually staying, which is a nice apartment building. You know? I think it was cool meeting you. Thanks.
same. And then like ping comes in, not ping, but like a little zip comes in on your app that she sent you a very nice tip, like the best tip you've had in weeks.
Cool. We will go find a place to eat, like something really luxe.
Sweet. So Luna, when you get an unexpected message late that night, where are you?
Ooh.
Are you out in Port Quarter grabbing a late night bite to eat? Are you closing up at the bar? Did you go out to some club by yourself to look at happy people dancing? Where are you, Luna?
God, I like the idea of Luna being sour at the bars. Everyone's dancing around them, drinking the Star Wars equivalent of a vodka Coke.
Ping mixers.
Some kind of gargle bastard. Yeah, I think I think they'll be at the club. Trying to drown it out. And then I think they'll probably get this message as soon as they're kind of like done. So they with the place, so they're like stepping out, get some air, trying to like just piece everything together when this message comes.
Sweet. So you're there and there's music playing and it's is it like a cool dance club or is it some kind of thrash place with lots of angry music?
I think it's a cool dance club. In
Nice.
which case it's you can
It's
see
kind of thing where
there's
you can just afford the cover and maybe a drink.
yeah, and you can clearly see the VIP place, which is like right above everyone else.
Of course. Why else would you have a VIP place? Put them beneath you? Come on. A quick message comes through. It's from Ari, and it says, "I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up with you after. I'm really sorry."
Why? What's happened?
I have to go.
Uh,
I've got to disappear.
What? What's happened?
I can't talk about it. They won't let me.
Can you tell me who they are?
And there's no response.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. Great. Righteous. I think like Luna just to like give them some for a minute and they start walking and then they kind of realize like what did they know about Erie? Did they even know where they live? Did they even know what they're backstory is. I think like they walk. I think like they didn't realize it, but I think they're walking towards probably where Block is, where Block lives, even
Hmm.
unless Luna doesn't know where that is.
Oh yeah, where does Block live?
Oh, Block. Oh, Block. Wow. Where does he live? He probably lives in a back room of the cantina, if he's completely honest. He probably like has no real money lasting anything. So there's an apartment attached to the back of the cantina, or maybe it's just across the alleyway, but it's attached, and he lives there.
Yeah, so Luna's just gonna drop in. You probably hear that like, someone's entered the cantina, and only a few people who probably do that this brazenly.
Karaoke machine still playing, like flickering. Nobody's singing. It's just showing lyrics to
So you just hear like the backing track.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then it's a terrible synth. For some reason, the flute instrument is used too much.
Totally.
Block. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Oh no. As you can see, I'm cleaning, and most of the kofuku stands all left for the evening, so it's quiet. It's winding down. Should probably turn that off. He reaches over, unplugs the karaoke machine. We're gonna do you for Luna.
I need some help, and I know this coming from me. This sounds ludicrous, but I need like I need to check in with someone, and I can't reach them at the moment, and I just need to know what's happening. Was one of those stands from the when the imps came in, and sounds like they're in trouble.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Do you have a comlink code or a chain code or anything like that I can work with?
Yeah, I think this is going to be the help roll. Sorry, Cody, we're making you roll all these important stuff. You're the hacker.
I wouldn't even say it. We're good.
Fulcrum.
All right. So yeah, so I'll roll I'm going to slice and try and see if I can pick up this comlink, this signal, see if it's pinged off any comm towers or what have you on the planet or anywhere near space, I guess. That I would
Nice.
recognize.
Yeah. Sweet. So you are looking at 3 negative dice.
3 negative dice, just the way I like it. I will have 1 die for trying, 1 die for being a jammer. I don't know that this is digital disruption, but slicing would make sense because I'm accessing that, and I have the console for it, so that's putting me at my standard 4. Is there help that Luna's able to provide because of having like a phone
roll
number?
it.
Okay,
Roll it, Luna.
Oh.
Build your roll for help.
Yeah, I was looking at my trademarks. I don't have anything else other than the 1 die.
I think the fact that you're well educated, you remember fine details, could totally come into account here.
Okay. So that's 3. I'll roll 3 of these green die. The 3 at the top.
Okay.
nice.
6. Okay. On help with a 6. Yeah, it's a success is partial success to add boon. So yeah, it's a success. So you get a boon.
So we got 5 dice
and 3 neg.
And 3 negative. So let's roll all these boys. Oh, baby. We got a 6 matched up with a 6. A couple of 5s, a 4, 3. The 3 gets locked off. So yeah, we'll go with well, you know what? Now's the time. Now's the time to do it. I'm going to use 2 stump points, one to boost a 5 to a 6, and the other to drop the 6 to a 5.
Now's the
Whoa,
time.
here we go. Awesome.
And a
All
matter
right.
that's probably not connected to the main job. Now's the time to do this.
Exactly. It's the only time, Leandro. You came to me for information. I'm gonna make sure you
Ooh,
get
man,
that.
look at that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
all connected. We need Luna at 100% for the
You
job.
wanted Luna,
Right.
Luna, you wanted to know if you're gonna be part of the group, and look how much Block is burning himself out to help you. Here's what you
Yeah.
get, Block and Luna, and we'll say both of you guys get the information at the same time, so Block doesn't have to
Yeah, pulls
interpolate it, that kind of deal.
First up on the display.
Cool. You crack into the comms database using the timestamps that Luna provides you from their comm unit, and you sync up those messages and where they came from, and each message is on the move at a very high rate of speed, heading from the downtown district of Carannia City outward. And that last message is the last, there's not even a check-in. You know how like in a cell tower, like even if you're not making calls, your phone is like doing the little check-in and it's exchanging data back and forth. It's gone. It's like somebody turned it off, removed the battery, dropped it in a bag type deal. And so you have the time points and the locations of the pings of it heading out, probably on a speeder, just from the speed that it was moving. And that's what you get. It's yeah.
I kind of let the information pop up and look to Luna. That doesn't look good, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
But if
So
there
gotta do-
if this
Okay.
last ping was when the phone the comlink perhaps got destroyed, deactivated, we can look at where they were and their speed. We at least have a trajectory where they could be going.
Yeah. Trajectory's better than most. I'm not gonna lie, Buck. I'm seriously tempted to just drop everything, go after this. But I know that would mean leaving right before we pull off this job. And quite frankly, I'm a bit torn right now.
I understand that. There's I know what it means to be pulled between your calling and your job.
Well,
What do you
isn't
think happened?
really? I don't. I wish I knew. I was just keeping tabs on this kid because they seemed like they need someone to take care of them, and even then, I wasn't really keeping tabs. I was just making sure someone actually responded to them, and well, maybe I didn't do a very good job if now they're just gone, and you don't mind if I just make myself a drink?
Yeah. When have I ever stopped you, Luna? Luna, we got a bit of time before the job. Maybe you could get out there and make it back quick. And if not, I mean, listen, we're pretty sure this is going to go sideways on us. Maybe it would help to have somebody on the outside looking in. If this is something that's going to keep your mind elsewhere, you're not going to be any good to us on the job anyways, Luna. So maybe you need to get this sorted out. Maybe you get Kier, get Heat, get Court. You know what? We can all get out there. Court will drive us. I'm sure she has the fastest speeder you've ever seen.
I wouldn't.
This job, we're at our own timeline on this one. This is Luna. This is the beauty of being an independent contractor. You kind of really make your own deadlines. So you know what? I'm just gonna make the call. You finish that drink. Block gets on his comlink and calls everybody up and gets it. Hey, get to the chip off. We got work. And I think Block makes the decision for Luna.
Yeah, it's good. Luna's just still kind of like in this like shell shocked haze. They didn't expect this. This is friends coming together. What the heck?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so get our very fine meal put together in the doggy bags and head back to the chip-off cantina.
Cool. So you come in and the place is dead as a doornail. Attorneys just can't stop yawning. It's late, and you see Luda probably like sitting at the bar on the customer side after your conversation with Block. Maybe they look distressed.
Told Trinity that they should go home. It's getting late. And
Okay.
get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll go get what the deets are, because I gotta work out the vehicle situation.
Or we're gonna need something fast. Luna here's got a job for us, and we're gonna need to get somewhere quick and get back just as fast. Wrangle up something quick.
Okay, what kind of quick? And she kind of goes, "What are we doing? Where are we going? Because where we're going is the most important thing for what's fast."
Block looks to Luna.
We're heading to the edge of the city, where we're looking for a friend. We're hoping to rescue a friend.
Okay, so which edge? Give me some coordinates. Show me where we're at, and I need to know where we're going.
Yeah, I think.
So what is this place that we're heading towards, Rich?
Yeah, there is a small. The place that you're generally headed towards, outskirts of city, it's heading. Carannia City and Serenno actually has. While it's a cyberpunk city, there are areas outside of the city that are not city. It's not like Coruscant, where everything's one contiguous city. And where you're headed off is pretty much former farmland that has kind of gone to waste due to various corporations and factory farms fighting against each other, which is why they've moved to hydroponics inside the city, so there's better protection. And also a very small, almost off the map spaceport.
Oh. Okay, so they're heading towards the spaceport. So, yeah, that's a whole different thing. So I think A, we have to get out there, but B, this is like going across all this other terrain. So it's not like we could use some slick city bikes or anything like that. So I'll get something that's a little bit more rugged that can go off-road if it needs to. Is what
Gonna
I'm
make a
looking
gear
at.
roll.
I'm gonna make a gear roll. Yes, I am. Let's see here. So I want something, and I want. I'm probably gonna go with. Let's see here. Like sort of. There's people. I'm not gonna call them scrappers. They're not, but there are people who run jobs between those places. There's still money to be made,
Sure.
but they have to go pretty darn fast to make it worth their while. So they have like these sort of stripped down speeders, if that's anything, and they are made to go over rough or non-existent roads.
Cool.
So,
Sounds good.
so I'm gonna say off-road, fast, and carrying capacity. All right, so that's 3. So let's see here. I'm gonna pull this lovely green pip die over here into the center and give it a roll. Oh, that's a bad one, so I'll try again. But I gotta select it. Go. I got a 3. Does that do it? Do I have to match it or
how many
beat it?
tags did you have?
3.
3. Okay. Wait. Oh, crap! I had it in
It's
my
a
head.
match or exceed.
Match or exceed. There you go.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Then I got it. So I had to spend 2 gear rolls though.
Okay.
All right.
Only
So
2
we
left.
get. Okay. So we have a speeder that I can take a thing of, and are we getting other people or just the three of us?
Karat doesn't have a place to live, because she can't stay where she used to stay near the Razor Girls anymore. So she's actually like living in like the little garage area. Block may or may not know this, so she pretends to wait a little bit longer and then comes around the corner.
Yeah, I think Block doesn't realize it yet, because if he did, he would just be like, "We can make you up a place somewhere in the building."
Then how
She really
does-
doesn't want to be here, but she just can't stay anywhere else right now. So
You don't have
And
to
I
go
think-
home, but you can't
I
stay
think-
here. How does he? Yeah, how does
Yeah,
he
I think
come?
whenever Heat gets here, he basically bumps into Karat as she comes out of the garage to kind of come in a different door.
Excellent. We'll get
Sweet.
that- We will get that speeder. Let's load up. Let's go.
All right, so
Ooh, good
all
job. You'll explain on the way, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's important, and you'll know all the details as soon as we get on the road.
I like it. Awesome. Let's take our mid-game break. With you guys heading off into the dead of night, into the outlands outside of Carannia City. So that will be fun. So we pick up with the 5 of you zipping along the wasteland. You see that there's like this, you pass by and there's this sign that is kind of dilapidated and rusted that says farmlands brought to you by Ping. But those farmlands have been destroyed, various corporate malfeasance. And as you guys are zipping along, heading towards the court driving, heading towards this spaceport, a pair of TIE fighters scream past you, heading to the
Interesting.
same place.
So here's the thing. I purchased off-road specifically so I can cut across anything like open land to get there faster.
Absolutely.
Take any other things out. So this is where I want to try to make up some speed. TIE fighters, of course, have to stick to the road because they don't, they
They don't
gotta, that's how they,
Where
they
they're
just
going, they
follow
don't
the
need
path.
roads. So-
Exactly.
Do you want to race faster than these TIE fighters to get there first? Is that what you're after?
Sure.
That's crazy. I adore it.
Yes. Yes, I want to do that.
That is
So-
awesome. So you have 4 dice coming against you because they
Oh,
are
wow.
screamingly fast.
Okay. Let's see here. So I think I can start with RevHead. So that's
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3. And you could spend, let's see here.
You can spend a
Then-
stunt point to bring in Optimus, which will get you 2 more dice if you
Yep,
want.
I think I might do that.
So how about if I try to help
Ooh,
from my stormtrooper training,
yeah.
knowing the routes that these TIE fighters would normally go through and how they would try and get there, considering the lay of the land.
Hi.
So my help would be me, plus Milspec Grunt, and maybe Ghost Chip to try and jam them or send them in the wrong direction.
Messed up. I love it.
So I'll
Oh,
roll
that's awesome.
3. Does anyone mind if I take some of these 3 green dice over here on the side?
Wait, you're doing a thing, Milspec Grunt, and you brought in 2 edges, right?
Just Ghost Chip.
You're not bringing combat? Okay. Okay.
I'm
cool.
not
Yeah,
sure
that makes
combat reflex makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let me pull these dice off to the side, and I'm going to re-roll them. So I got a 4.
Okay. Mixed result. It's a boon for Court. Take another die.
Okay, so I think that's 7 dice. So fortunately, that's how many green non-pips, and then I need 4. So I'm going to move everything over the picture.
Okay.
Here we go. And you said I'm going up against 4?
Yeah, so you need another
Okay.
pip green.
I'll do a pink one.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's going to be the one that rolls highest. I'm just telling
exactly. Exactly.
you.
I'm
Rolling pretty high so far today. All right. Re-rolling them all.
I'm trying. hopefully I've got them selected. It's always hard to know.
It can
Okay.
be.
Okay, I think I got them. Here goes.
Yep, they all re-rolled. Look at that.
I can't see, like, okay, all the pips here.
Yeah, it looks like 5 is your best result because
Unless I hit, yeah, because I have 2 of them. It is because
Yeah.
my 6 got canceled. So 5.
man, that was a lot of cancels. And I was wrong about the pink. Pink was only a 4.
Yeah.
Phew, man, a mixed result. So you succeed at a cost, I think is what we're going with. So you race ahead and Heat's using that ghost chip, and we see one of the TIE fighters kind of wobble in the air like something has happened to them. And yeah, Heat, what are you sending them through that?
I think I'm sending them kind of other pings, other things of interest that they should be going towards, just to make their trip longer. Not almost like the lay of the land is different than what they thought it was. So I'm messing with their radar a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, so I've got multiple signals. And the other was like, no. This is a pair of TIE fighters, right? You know, one's the wingman for the other. But the wingman is the one that gets wobbly for a bit. And then Court, you race along and you beat them to the spaceport. Luna, you spot there's a speeder that is right near, looks like a small freighter. The engines are on. There's nobody in the speeder. And the TIE fighter comes down, and the partial success part is you've beaten them there, but this TIE fighter fires on and destroys the speeder. And then screams and starts to turn back around. So just for visuals, I'm kind of imagining, if you guys remember in Force Awakens when they run along and they say, let's take that hopper right there and it gets blown up and like, we'll take this crappy one. Like that's what you've got here is this is a spaceport that's pretty much run by appointment only because they don't have the kind of business to keep things running. No corp has propped them up. And there are a few freighters, and evidently there's one freighter it's a YT 1300, so it's similar to the Millennium Falcon, but it's oriented differently, and it's firing up and looking like it's trying to lift off. But there are TIE fighters coming in on it hot.
Well, I think we found the right place. KT, you think that gun can do something to that? And he blocks looking up at a TIE fighter.
I don't know. It sounds like the TIE fighters might actually be on our side here a little bit, keeping the freighter on the ground. But TK will be like, I'll see what I can do. And she'll run to the wreckage of the speeder because there's like a smoke cloud, right? So she can use that as a little bit of cover to surprise them the next time they make a pass.
Sweet. Sure enough, this pair of TIE fighters come arcing around. Luna, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think on the way I did explain what's happening.
Yeah, everybody knows what's going on. The scant bit of information you actually have.
Yeah, I think, gosh, I want to keep that freighter from taking off. But I don't know. Luna doesn't have like they can't shoot well, but like so it's probably better than if Karat does, because Karat has a big gun and Luna can. Let me roll for some kind of rifle so I can at least take out something to keep the freighter from like fully taking off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll for a.
Well, just so we're clear, like it looks like the speeder pulled up to the ship. Like if Karat can actually get to, you could physically get up to the ship if you wanted to.
Oh yeah. That was that was my other idea, but like
okay. I just want to make sure that I was being clear because I had a feeling that it was a little muddy.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I'll do that instead. Try to get on the freighter. Using like the wreckage of the speeder as kind of like cover, and get maybe hopefully get inside before it like takes off.
Cool. Yeah, getting aboard is way more interesting than not getting aboard. So that's not a die roll.
Yeah, the thing is that like I have no trademarks for. I think I have a trademark. I don't think I have an edge. Bounty Hunter
Okay.
can absolutely do this because this
So
is the thing.
Luna, you hop off of the speeder and you're running headlong, right for the gangway, which is still down. You're like, you're gonna get on that ship before it takes off. Now, do you really want to be there with TIE fighters attacking? We'll figure that out later. I'm curious though. We check in with Heat as you see Luna. They take off headlong, heading for the ship as Karats go again to try to take down a TIE fighter. What are you doing, Heat?
So I want to. I think what I want to do is equivalently read a sitch and see if I can't tell, where are. What was the person's name?
Where is Erie?
Yes, where is Erie? So
Okay.
this would be. So has Block done anything at this point?
I was going to check in with Block in just a moment.
Listen, Block is, he's did a lot. We're pretty far away from most computers, so he's like, well, I can only do so much with my robot arm. Block is I think Block is monitoring the like the air traffic control and stuff like that to get an idea of like how long until the freighter is going to take off. These ties, if there's any chatter, like if they're saying like you need to stand down, you need to do this, or like if there's names. So Block's very much just playing a kind of like an Overwatch role on the communications.
Well, I was going to say, could the two of us team up in some way to try and find Erie? Maybe see if we couldn't ping what the Imperials are going after, if they have a tracer on her or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'm confused, or maybe I'm not. Do we know what's going on with this freighter? It seems like maybe this is like, I don't necessarily think that she's being kidnapped or anything, right? I mean, maybe, but maybe not. So part of me, that's why I was like, let's take out these TIE fighters, because it seems like that's what we want, is to help that. But yeah, so Block will do his best to try and like get an idea of maybe just through like monitoring comms, like, oh, I hear two voices here. Is this one of them? Do something to get a lay of the land, I guess.
Well, I think that we could probably team up and you could hack through the ghost chip that I have to see if you couldn't get to Imperial channels in order to see if the Imperials don't have a ping on Erie, since they seem to be attacking.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do that. I like draw like an aux cord out of my console and like jack it into the back of your head.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's so wicked in Cyberpunk. I love it.
It might hurt a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. Jam it right in the back of the noggin. So
Sweet.
Does Heat need to roll a help check for this first?
Yeah, let's have Heat roll the help check. You're looking at 2 negative dice coming your way on this roll.
Or am I using Heat as a piece of gear?
Roll to see if you have that gear.
So I don't have any negatives on a help check, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to grab some of these green dice and move them off so I can see them. I think it's me plus Milspec plus Ghost Chip, and I'll just roll those 3. Let's see. And I got a 6.
That's a 6. Nice. All right, Block, you get a boon from Heat's help, using Heat as a conduit.
All right, so I'm attempting it. I'm slicing. I'm a jammer. I have my own console, and I'm getting help from Heat's Ghost Chip. So there's 5 positive dice. What's the difficulty here, boss?
2 negs.
All right. Okay. Select all these.
Look at those pink rolling 6s when they come in.
Here we go. Oh, baby, we got an uncanceled 6.
Oh, nice. Uncanted 6. I love it. We have canted dice. It's good. Yeah, you patch right in and you hear through the comm signals.
Pilots, this is Captain Dama Jassad. I am en route to intercept
Do not destroy the freighter. The package needs to be secured. Do take out its engines if you are able.
Okay.
Captain, we're meeting some resistance here. There's some carking Twi'lek with a gun and someone in a speeder that moves too fast and extra signals. There's extra signals.
Hearing that all come out, I get on the comm link and let everybody know these imps are after a package. It's on that freighter. Luna, I think it's your friend. We got it. They're gonna take out those engines soon. We got to do something about this. We got more imps incoming.
On it.
I think Heat asks Luna, do you want us to help get your friend away, or do you want to keep your friend here?
Ooh. I think Luna, who is running towards jumping on the ramp, will say, I'll know when I get to her.
Sweet. So you like clunk, clunk, clunk up the ramp, and when you come up into the main area, you see Eri is there, and she's standing right beside Kofuku. And then you hear a guy yelling like, "Oh God, I think we're all going to get killed. This is a terrible idea." And he's basically piloting the ship, trying to get it to take off, and he's flicking some buttons, and it's obvious that he's kind of making it up as he goes. And Eri runs forward, and she hugs your neck. What are you doing here?
I thought you were in trouble. Where are you?
I am in trouble, but you shouldn't be here.
Well, too bad. I'm here now, so we're gonna make sure trouble goes away. You weren't in any. You weren't in any distress when you. Whatever. Why are the
helping
Imperials
Kofuku escape?
That looks at Kofuku. Escape from what? Also, hello.
Hello. I'm trying to get off of Serenno. I'm so sorry. Eri, remove my restraining bolt, and I need to leave. So we cut outside to Taz as you're about to take aim at a TIE fighter.
Yeah, so Taz is going to roll for some gear here. Rolling for backpack mortar. I'm going to roll this pink one here in the center. Oh, that's not nearly enough. I have to re-roll again. It's got 4 tags.
Better roll high. Oh, never
also
won.
Not high enough. All right, last gear die, or else we're just going to use the regular blaster. Oh man. Okay, I've just burned all my gear dice. That's a shame. That mode is just not working.
Can Taz use mine? Can they use mine?
I think in theory, I don't know if Stash gets you a reroll or anyways. So yeah, Taz will just she starts laying into the air, tracking one of these TIE fighters as it's swinging back around. So I am going to burn. Okay, so 1 for doing it. BFG and cover an area. I'm going to spend the stunt point to also pull in gunfighter and dodge because they're also shooting back at me, I can only assume. 5 resistance dice. Yes, I love it. Okay.
You are going one-on-one against a TIE fighter. You are not a Jedi, and you don't have a jetpack.
Hashtag not a Jedi.
5.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, there's so many dice here.
So many dice. Okay, so I use a portrait monitor, so I'm not sure if everyone can see, but I've kind of made a cluster on the left-hand side.
Yeah, I see the cluster of
Okay.
3 pink and 2 green pips.
I think I've got them all selected. Here we go. That 6 is canceled.
Yep.
One of the 5s is canceled. One of the
Yep.
5s is canceled. I've got 2 2s.
Cancel the 6 with one of your
Yeah, I could bring the 6 down to a 5, right?
You
Yes.
could.
Yeah.
Okay, so that burns 2 stunt points for this roll, but I do succeed.
Wow, you burned 2 stunt points for this roll. What does it look like when Taz Karat, the heavy gunner Twillick, takes down a freaking TIE fighter?
So yeah, I didn't include these. The like there wasn't a help roll from Heat, and there wasn't like I didn't use my cybernetic Leiku, but I think Taz is getting close and tracking really close. But then there's like this synergistic, totally cyberpunk moment where between Block and Heat's like ghost chip interaction and my Twilight Cyborg thing, like my hands just move and I start leading the target better, and it's like there's little holes show up in those radiators on the sides of the TIE fighter, and it starts holes, and it starts to spin out slightly, and then it starts on fire, and it does like the whole corkscrew down and scatters across the ground.
Oh man.
But because Heat is helping, we actually do see the pilot eject.
Oh, nice. I love it. It's great. It's like the episode of A-Team where it like crashes into the side of a cliff, but then all of a sudden we see, there's a couple of parachutes, so everything's okay.
And then TK will be like, 1 down.
Man, that's insane. That is so insane. Block, you see that there is a Gazanti class cruiser that's coming in Atmo at this point.
Woo! I relay that information to the folks who might not be aware of it. Luna inside the freighter may not know. We got a Gazanti class freighter coming in. These imps they mean business. That's a troop transport. I think some of us need to go. I don't think we can hang around here long. What's the play, Luna?
This freighter needs to go as well. We're helping someone escape the imps, and I think Luna is like conflicted.
Yeah.
Fort, I need you to pick up Kirat. We're getting out of here. Luna, Godspeed.
Nice. And I think Kofuku will look at you, Luna, and she says, I may be destroyed trying to escape. If you want to go, you should.
Why would... No. You're not going to be destroyed. You're coming along. We're getting out of here.
Cool. It's like, yeah, we are getting out of here. If anyone could show me what this red button's supposed to do, it's blinking.
Oh gosh. This is so much. Yeah, it goes over to like the. So is there how many people are in this freighter? It's just like the three.
There's one guy behind the controls of the freighter trying to figure out how to fly it as he tries to fly it. And Eri, who is there, she's hugged you, and Kofuku, who's standing there talking to you, trying to like reason with you. Hey, we may get destroyed. You don't have to. You can go get off of this freighter right now.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna do that. I think they send like to block the comics, like get the folks out, get the chip off out of here. We're leaving. Well, I'll talk to y'all soon. I still owe you all of you a job.
Yeah, and your last check will be in the mail, I'm sure.
Do you want an autograph from Kofuku?
What? Who's on that freighter?
Luna's like jumping on the controls next to the guy, and it's like trying to get this freighter going.
Nice. Yeah, I'll co-pilot. Yeah, that's good. He gets in the this guy's like 20, 21.
He's the chauffeur, right? He's
the chauffeur. I'm real good in speeders, but I've never flown a freighter before. There's way more stuff going on. I really should have taken that class.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Luna says, who, even though they have the well-educated edge, well, no, they've flown. They've probably flown like a ship or two, but it's just that's not their specialty, since that's not their
Right.
trademark. But they have done so in the past, so they're gonna try and get this thing going just as the imps are coming.
Yeah, there is a TIE fighter that's going to try to take out your engines, Luna.
Beautiful. We just need to be able to go. I'm sure like they're distracted because a Twi'lek just took out one of their
Yeah,
fighters.
that was his wingman. He's like, oh my God, this is not good.
So can I help Luna? Essentially, I think
Absolutely.
that I can see that they are gunning for the engines. So I have gone over and hot-wired a fuel truck, essentially. and essentially, when that TIE fighter makes that pass, I sort of like swing that truck over there between it and the ship's engines, so that essentially it can block that, and then make a big explosion that won't hurt the ship, but will essentially give them a little bit of screen for the time. I'm going for pyrotechnics.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Hey, by the way, it sounds like you're using hitting a flaw there of causing some collateral damage.
Is that a flaw or is that an advantage?
Exactly.
So what does that mean when that happens?
I think I'm gonna, because it's a flaw of yours, I'm gonna let that be one of the negative dice to pull that off. So
Okay.
it's a help roll, but you get one negative dice because sometimes your
Okay.
collateral damage is worse than you intended.
Okay, so I got 3, and I've got that. So I'm rolling those top pinks
Okay.
right there. Yeah, that's a terrible roll. Let's see here, 3, 2, 2. But I can spend a stunt point and make that 3 or 4, so it's at least a partial success.
Partial success, which gives you a boon, Luna. You get 1 die. Good use of stunt points.
Cool. Okay, so let's see. One for luck. Another for orbital, because I've been on this. That's what I'm bringing in. And well-educated part, because at least I know how to fight this thing. And then the boon. So that is only that's 4 dice.
And yeah, this is a TIE fighter trying to shoot out your engines. The engines are a little difficult, so it's only 3 negative that are coming against you. It's not like you're a Twi'lek with a gun and a mortar, not mortar. So a little less hard.
Yeah, this is what you get for committing to a human family. I can't be a Twi'lek with a gun in this shared world. Okay. I don't think this mark condition. The white rabbits aren't here. So that condition doesn't do anything. And okay, all right, I'll just roll. So okay, I've got these in the corner in the left.
I see it.
4 versus 3. Oh,
that is. I don't know how to make that not a fail. That is terrible. I mean, 2 stunt dice could do the flip thing.
Yeah, 2 stun points. I'll bring that the not pip 5 to a 6 and bring that 6 pip to a 5. Yeah.
Yep. That's the only way you could make that any kind of success.
Yes.
That is a costly victory. Yeah, I'd like to designate one person to go clear all those dice. I know you have to individually click them, but yeah, I appreciate it. So Greg's got that. Yeah, Luna, what? So this TIE fighter comes in, a fuel truck blows up, and you somehow are able to pull this rickety YT class freighter up in a way without the engines being destroyed, and you'll be up in the air. What does that look like? Like, what is it that Luna does?
This is an old, probably apocryphal tall tale that one of their relatives, the one who's a space pirate, once told them about how they got away from the imps once. And what they did was like they made sure that like, yeah, there's a targeting system, whatnot, but you still need to eyeball it. You still need to see it. You can't see it if you're partially blinded. So what Luna does is they tell everyone to hang on to something, and they twist the freighter so that the lights of the engines will like flash across the TIE fighter so that the
Nice.
pilot will be blinded just as the explosion happens. And so like their vision is fried. They cannot see. And as the like there's a confusion in that moment, yeah, I think Luna will like, you know, punch it to the atmosphere. And yeah, they'll just, yeah.
Sweet. Good. So I will give you 1 click towards your drive track because you're actually on a freighter. But I think this is the point where you get to make a retirement roll to see how things work out for you. What do you think? Does this sound okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, retirement check, use the drive track to resolve. Create a dice pool with positives. The positives equal to the ticks on the drive track, negatives equal to the unticked boxes. No other modifiers apply.
Hold on, I'm sorting out the dice in the
Yeah.
drawer.
No, I understand. You drop all those dice in, you got to sort them out. It's all good.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 negative and 5, 6, 7 positive. Whoa, you got a good chance here. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay.
There are no stunt dice. There's no stunt points, anything. It is what it is.
I think you were looking at the wrong drive track. I think it's 5v5, isn't that right?
Am I looking at the wrong drive track? I am. I was looking at court. It's 5v5. I am so sorry. But actually, it looks like you have 5, 4, and wait.
Yeah, no, it's 5v5. I was halfway through.
Oh, you're not done.
Including that extra tick you gave me.
Okay. So you need one more negative then, right? One more pip die?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cody, for catching that. I would have felt terrible later.
Oh, no,
Ooh,
it's pink
in there.
I forgot mine was pink. Okay.
Here we go. I'm excited about this. Here it comes. It all comes down to this.
Oh my god.
Yes. That is a lot of ones on the numbers, but you got that 1 6 and no 6 in the pips, which means that your 6 is the success. So yeah, you complete your drive and get out of the life. Describe how and what comes with the character. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to sit on it for a little bit as we jump back?
Yeah, I'll sit on it for the moment.
Sweet. Yeah, you and just to help out Kofuku, who evidently was posing as human, but was a corporate entertainment droid who got Eri to release her popper restraining bolt that they tried to escape. And yeah, she convinced her chauffeur, whose name is what is, I think is yeah, you're going to go with Roro. It's short for something. But yeah, Roro, the not great co-pilot, but decent chauffeur. So yeah, there we go. So yeah, we cut back. Taz, you took down one of the TIE fighters. Court, with that fuel truck explosion, the other TIE fighter like went right into the explosion because he was blinded by Luna's flashing the high beams on him. Poor guy. He was down, and then the freighter takes off, goes up. The Gazanti class cruiser, it has trouble kind of tracking and turning, and then you see it leave Atmo, and Luna's gone. We're not sure if did they make it? Who knows?
I don't know. So yeah, I think we'll just load back up in the speeder, and I'll go, hey guys, turns out that probably that tip on the farm came out of Yencourt. So it might not be the imps that were set that up. I think Yed wants us to find some more dirt.
it just gets better and better here in Serenno, doesn't it? Don't you love my beautiful planet? Let's get out of here, Court.
All right. Yeah, and we will get back to the city. Are we going to do the job?
I kind of, I mean, personally, I like it's like kind of like ending like, yeah, there's going to be another job, but like this job ended, you know, not job, but like this moment in time ended with us getting Luna off world, and it's like, you know, this crew isn't going anywhere. We got another job to do. But if this was like a movie, you know, that's where it ends in my mind. But I'm down to, we can do some rolls.
We wanted to leave space for epilogues and retirement and all of that, and we could potentially narrate the next job through retirement.
That's true. That's true.
I like that.
Cool. I love it. I was like 35 minutes. We'll try to jam it through if you really want to, but I'm very happy for us to set up retirement roles because they're retirement checks. That sounds fun. Let's start off with the most likely to succeed in Court's yearbook in the arcology. Most likely to succeed at Yen Group is Court, the arcology brat.
Okay. So, well, I guess, do I get to add another check or two to my track? Because I know my dice. I would travel for every positive I can get.
I think I will allow everyone to make one more check towards your drive.
Thank you.
Because you successfully liberated a entertainment droid from her contract.
Okay.
Her forever contract.
5, 6, 7, 8 versus 2. So now all I have to do is highlight them all. The most painful part of it all. Oh, wait. I can't use that. I gotta do this. There we go.
It should be 7 and 3.
Why does it keep giving me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's 3. I
7
added
versus
another
3.
one, and it should be okay.
1,
I
2,
thought it
3,
was
4,
8.
5, 6, 7. It's only a total drive track of 10. You're 8. You're right because you worked one more. I had the 7 and 3 stuck in my head. Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
It's okay.
So,
It's good to review. All right, here we go. I expect that I'll cancel out all the good things.
you ended
I
up
got
rolling three pips, by the way, but it's fine because I think 5s are what your best is. Oh, 5. Okay, on the
I
retirement
only
roll.
rolled 7 unpips though, so I got
Okay, roll one more
another
on pip. If you roll a 6, then
I rolled a 6.
you complete your drive and get out of the life. Describe describe how and what becomes the character. Oh, nice. Boons are unforeseen windfalls, but you didn't get any boons. You just got 1 6. But that's
Yeah.
fair.
So I think that what it is through this, she gets the dirt, and Yencourt gets what they want, but she goes back and she negotiates that she wants to be a pilot. And so they start training her up to the pilot thing.
Nice.
And so there's that thing of, I will wait until other people have their thing, but I have a thing of like, there's that whole thing of on her first flight out of who's going with her, if anyone wants to. So she'll be a pilot.
Cool. I love that. I could totally see a Joji going, oh, that was a good job there. Let's do this thing. Okay, who would like to go next with their drive?
I'll go next. So I have 7 ticks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's 7 dice. I'm going to move this one over here. And then I have 3 negatives, so I'm going to pull another pip over. Does that look right? 7 to 3?
Looks right to me.
Okay. Roll that and see how it goes.
6 and 6 cancels out. There's no stunt points for this, so your best. Oh, yay, we have our first mix. I mean, sorry, but yay, you achieve your drive, but it costs you something. Describe the compromise you make or cost you pay to finally achieve your goal.
I didn't realize that stunt points didn't count against this, and I was like, oh, I'm going to use stunt points to try and downgrade things.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. So I was kind of hoping for a mixed success. So I think what this looks like is Heat. So his goal is to gain penance for his past deeds.
Yeah.
And I think part of I'm going to narrate a little bit, and then if we want to go back around, we can, get specific scenes or something. But basically, I think Heat has made penance for his past deeds, but he doesn't realize he has. And he goes from, of course, now Carannia is way too hot for him, so he has to leave here because the imps are on his track, and he goes to the next place, and probably with Court on her ship. And I think, visually what we see is the Lonely Man theme as he tracks off into the next place.
Do we have the Hulk? The Hulk, the little piano thing from the Incredible Hulk TV show? Sounds good. Awesome. So you moving on. Heat is leaving Carannia City. It's too hot here for him, but he does gain his penance. Nice. You just don't get to enjoy the fruits of becoming a person you always wanted to be.
And to tie in another TV show, it's sort of like the end of Quantum Leap. Spoiler alert. He's got his penance, right, but doesn't realize it, so keeps going out and trying to do more good to make up for it.
Nice. I like it. You'd like to go next?
I'll go next. I think if we wanted to go in order of who's most likely to succeed based off drive tracks, I'll go next and leave Taz for the grand conclusion. So I'm a 5v5. Let me go ahead and add another die. Select all of these. And roll.
Oh, it looks like a perfect success. I can't believe it.
Lovely.
Oh man, no dice to mess with that. It is what it is. It is a 6. So your drive was to take back control of a family business, and you complete your driving, get out of the life. Describe how and what becomes of the character. I totally have I have headcanon, so I'm really excited where you go with it, Cody.
Interesting. Okay. So Block, over the next couple of years, months, as the Imperials are finally pushed off planet and Serenno comes back under the purview of the New Republic, Block begins making his inroads with rebel cells on the planet and stuff like that to place himself in a position of power for when the city or the planet itself is freed. And he goes back. He uses his family ties to take up the former title of Count that belonged to his great uncle Dooku. And he took back his family's rightful place as leaders of the planet. Although, of course, it is under the New Republic, and he'll see to that changing, of course. But for now, at least, he took back the family business.
That's great. That's great. That's so twisted. I love it. Perfect. So Taz, it is your turn.
Taz is definitely still very indebted to Osiris. So here we go. That's 3 positive and 7 negative.
7 negative. Oh my.
Here we go.
Oh my.
Oh, that is a botch.
That is a botch. The first botch of our game, I think.
Hold on. So on a botch. Actually,
read this aloud, man.
You fail and make things worse for everyone who has ever known you. Hi, friends. Describe how things went so wrong and what becomes of the character. All other characters must cross off one drive box representing time and resources wasted in the fallout from your failure. So it's a good thing I went last. Yeah, so I think we see it is that job where we were all worried, but Taz needs the money. All right, so she goes and without Luna, managing the perimeter, and maybe without as much support from Block or Heat because they're off doing their own thing. Taz tries to do the infiltration all by herself, and we see her like using all these cool things. She's got like a poison module in her new Leiku, and she like gases the room and gets all the data out, and she's just about to exfiltrate when like she gets to a blast door and it doesn't open. And she does the code again and it doesn't open. And the blast door behind her closes and it won't open either. So she's like trapped in this room, and then a hidden doorway opens up, and it's Sable from the Razor Girls is there with all of her like kitted out stuff. And she looks at her and goes, "You're not dead. And there's one heck of a bounty on you. And all of your friends." Yeah, because I have to make it worse for everyone else. And yeah, Taz is taken off to some sort of Imperial penal colony for
take it off in binders.
take it off in binders. She gets got.
Oh man.
Only to break out and cause trouble later.
Do they let you keep your cybernetic Leku, or do they take that from you, leaving you even worse off than you were before?
It's a botch with an extra bad. So yeah, I think they do. So she's just got the one, and it's like the interface is still there, but they like keep it somewhere else so that she can't use it. It would be too easy for her to escape jail, right, with that on.
Totally. Oh, that's...
I like the idea that we don't know what happened to you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is so we're always kind of like looking and that kind of thing. So it's like this sort of thing of, in the way that it makes it worse for all of us, is that it's just a sort of absence and no answers.
Dang. And then Luna, what is their retirement? What happens? What's the epilogue?
Yeah, well, I think I'm choosing to like treat retirement as like retirement from this game, in that they slip off into other games.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, so I think from what we get is like, maybe from Block's perspective, like they maybe like every couple, because the thing is the galaxy's big, the galaxy's huge. Like the galaxy is the kind of place where you can fake your death after Darth Vader throws you out of an airlock and still continue a comic book line of your own adventures, because the galaxy's big. You don't have to worry about Darth Vader. So I think every now and then Block will get like a message from Luna. Yes, you do get the autograph. I think that small gang in the freighter, I think they stick together.
Nice.
I think a lot of them. I think you spend so much time that pitting gangs against each other, you can't help but like, why not have your own gang? So I think like they're out there in the galaxy having adventures. For them, Roro, Kofu, Eri, who I still don't know if he had parents or family or anything, but like we'll figure it out some other time. But yeah, they're out there doing what Luna got what they wanted. It was a 6. They're out there in the stars and making hay as the galaxy is in this time, in this hectic period.
That's not at all tragic. I love it. Poor Luna. You couldn't give them the tragic ending, I guess. Tragic backstory for sure. Days and days of tragic backstory, but actually got a pretty happy ending. That is sweet. Cool. Anybody have any last bits or wrap up or anything they wanted to mention before we put this to bed?
I wanted to say that we actually had a really good process where right at the very end we got our first botch. the whole series. We got to see everything got really bad for everyone, and it was super hectic. I think we nailed all the little pieces and wishes and stuff that people had asked about.
We did, I think. I think I agree. Cool. All right, well, let's move on to just stars. There's no wishes. It's all done. Everyone's retired their character. We'll never play them again. Please play these characters again in other games. So we'll just go with a round of stars, and everybody gets to kick out a little bit on the early side. Hope that's okay. Who'd like to go first for stars?
I want to give a star to everyone, specifically for pivoting in the middle of that session. We had something else planned, and then everyone committed to the other thing as well. And I did feel worried that like people that it was becoming really it was a bit. We went from one thing that like was a typical job, and I think that was very much about Luna, and I appreciate that everyone was like generous about that. There's a commitment to it, and we got some very cool moments. Would have loved to have seen maybe another gang v gang plan go off, but I think it was a beautiful hectic action finale. I'm still in awe at how Block can just keep hacking anything and everything around him, including a human with heat. I'm just shouting out small details now because like there's some big stuff there. Small stuff like Greg, when you said that like because Heat helped out, the TIE fighter pilot managed to get out, which was wonderful.
That was cool.
Yeah. That actually honestly like of all the moments, that small thing was just my favorite moment because it again just shows that everyone here really pays attention to everyone and really wants to help out, which is lovely. Can I give a thorn for not seeing the Block doc only for like one line?
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm kidding.
Block Dog can totally be the one that removed Taz's thing, right? He put it on. They had to dig it. Karen, he's the only local doctor.
I'll be using this for someone else who does it more wisely. Such a shame, but the tech is beautiful, isn't it? Cool. That's good stuff. Thank you. Thank you very much, Leandro. Who'd like to go next for stars?
I'll go next. So I wrote some stuff down. I loved Luna's apartment. The whole like neon through and like you have the ping fu, but you're like, I'm not gonna touch the ping fu anymore. That was a blast, and I really enjoyed the job that we got to do for Luna. So yeah, and a star to Rich for Kofuku being a droid the whole time. That's like this perfect like Star Warsy cyberpunk corporate culture thing. It was chef's kiss on that. I loved I said Heat's low-key Thomas Shelby. Have you seen Peaky Blinders? Like his whole like flashback to like the war thing. I loved that. And then the karaoke droid, which I believe was Cody dragging up the karaoke droid. I love that. It's just a great visual that like it's very Star Warsy to have reused an astromech droid in that way. And then last star to Sherry for her criminal mind. Every time we're coming up with a heist idea, we're all sort of like, and then Sherry's like, oh, here's a super criminal thing we could do. Like we'll cause a diversion by pretending to do the thing we would normally do, and then we'll do so that was this planning was a blast, and then I'm glad I incorporated it there at the end, so we did see a little bit of that job, even if we
Good stuff. Thank you, Greg. That was delightful. I love it when you take notes. Good things happen. Good. Who'd like to go next with stars?
I'll jump in there, and I'll start with speaking of Sherry. I gotta say, I absolutely loved as the games went on, Court's drive being get in with the boys, but being a part of Yancorp. I was like, I was constantly on my like, is she gonna betray us all? Like, is this all a setup to get in deep? And I love that because then yes, all those criminal elements where you're like, actually the plan is this, actually the plan is this. I kept being like, how deep does this go? How twisted is this angle? So I just love that was your drive and how you approach it. Having that little epilogue in the first session where the guy gets boosted, and then all these little extra details where it's like she's up to something more than we know, and I love that. I also want to give a star to everybody for being so down to jump to the idea of we got to get Luna to that freighter. The way that kind of just came up was like, yeah, we got this job, cool, we know how it's going to work. And then Leandro, it felt like you kind of wanted that moment, so it was like, no, this is what moment needs to happen. And I don't know if it was just the way you were playing it or if this was how you felt, where you felt conflicted about which way to go. I liked that it was conflicted. I liked that it kind of let us decide. So I don't know, it was a great kind of tangent to take the game. It was really fun. So that's my biggest star there, is the agility with which we pivoted to a totally different arc, because that's what we felt would be the thing.
Nice. I'm glad you guys dug that, because I was like, I wanted like an A plot that then there's another B plot that could become the A plot kind of thing going on. And I'm glad that it paid off for you all, at least enjoying it. So that's cool.
So I'll go next, because we're kind of going in reverse character keeper order, and that
Looks like it
lines it up. So for me, first of all, I want to give a star to you, Rich, because these little scenes where you had, what's your apartment look like? Where do you live? And I really enjoyed whenever you gave Heat the chance, like, what kind of nightmare did you have? That was a lot of character development that felt really good, especially for the beginning, to kind of get back into the feeling of the character and all of that. That was really nice. And then having these A and B plots ready, so if something was happening, we could go hit that if we needed to. And I feel like everyone's character, like I mentioned this in the chat, I totally want to see Luna and Kofoku in like a band at some point in a future game. I want to see these characters more, because that would be so awesome. And I like that Greg got the botch that he wanted with his outcome, and got to narrate kind of that, because Greg and I had been talking in the chat like, oh, I'm going to manipulate the dice to get the narrative choice that I want from the result, from the retirement roll. And I was like, oh, now it's just the dice, right? I can't manipulate that. So I'm so glad it worked out exactly kind of how I wanted to. And I think Greg also wanted that botch. So, that was nice too. So, yeah.
I appreciate you sharing that, Stephen, from your POV, because that's a really interesting thing. Is like, we normally just tell the epilogues that we want. You want a tragic thing, you just do it, right? You want something kind of heroic, or maybe something that was fitting but set you up to play this character in a future game. We just do it. And I find it fascinating that like now we're going to a mechanical epilogue, and how does that feel? How would it have felt supposition wise? Like, Greg, do you think if you'd gotten the super happy ending for Taz, would you have been disappointed, or just, oh yeah, that's fine? Sometimes happy endings happen.
Personally, me as a player, no, I wouldn't have minded. I would have. I had a pre-built kind of idea what I wanted to happen to Taz with a botch, because I was kind of planning on one, just looking at
Yeah,
I've already talked about this a couple times, like the math. It's kind of tricky in this game, the math. But I was just kind of expecting it not to go well for Taz. It would have been interesting. I would have been, prompted to come up with a slightly different thing. I'm curious how I would have actually, paid off my drive if things had gone well, because that's what the prompt is, right? I have to pay off my debt. So no, I don't think I would have minded. I think it was kind of interesting to mechanize it, kind of, because you've built it over all the sessions, right? So
nice. I think another thought I have is like, I think there's a certain, it's not quite like doing beliefs in Burning Wheel, that level of complexity, but coming up with a drive that you definitely want to push for is pretty important, right? And a drive that when you achieve it feels good to head towards an epilogue for the character, or at least for their involvement in this particular type of game is something else that I learned watching you guys play that.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
agree.
yeah.
I found it fascinating that it kind of mechanized the epilogues, and I was kind of excited to see how all that worked out. I think that fortunately, I think it worked out for most of us here, and I agree with Greg. If my role had been a complete success or complete failure, that's another part of the game, right? That you then get to narrate and say this is kind of how it goes, and you have the rest of that story. So it was really interesting to see that mechanized.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that, because I was curious, like from a player's point of view, is this one of those where you go, well, if I had gone sucky, that would have blown, or man, I really wanted it sucky. This sucks that I've rolled well. Dang it. Can't I?
And I think
It was so funny. Like, I'm going to spend stuff points to fail.
Well, I think some of that is, if you had been able to use stunt points to manipulate that, then it gives you more of an idea about, it's more like a general epilogue where you just choose what you want to a certain extent, if you have those stunt points left.
Mhm.
However, mechanizing it, like going forward, it depends a lot on the players that you have and whether or not they can, roll with that, with the results. Because, like, for example, Heat ended up, succeeding, but not knowing that. If he had fully succeeded, then maybe he becomes a religious man. If he had fully botched, maybe he gets put in Imperial prison, right? So it's all different choices that the mechanics tell us where the story goes. It's interesting.
Yeah, cool. Sorry for harping on it so much, but I literally grabbed all of that once Greg's last week's like, this is what it does. I like stuck it all in the Bounty of the Week game I'll be running next week. So really curious for the feedback as you guys went through it. That's really helpful. Thank you all so much for playing this. I had a delightful time.
Did Sherry do wishes?
Yeah, Sherry.
Oh, Sherry, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's okay, because everyone like articulated all the things that I love so much. So it's not like I've missed out in saying something desperately important. I do want to thank you for allowing me a little bit of collateral damage, and it didn't get in my way because I used stop points. But anyway, no, it was super fun. The players were all excellent, and like everything you said was absolutely correct. And again, I'm surprised at how much I enjoyed the mechanics in this game. I do think they did a really good job, and it's a flyweight. It doesn't get in the way, but like every roll, I had to go and watch everyone's roll. You know what I mean? Because you're like, ooh, what's going to happen? The tension of dice was actually pretty on place here, and all of the mechanics that they had for making the character and getting to retirement and stuff actually were pretty resonant and helped you tell a story. So it was a gem of a system,
That's it's the theatrics of the dice. That's not something you see in PBTA. Like, it's, plus minus. It's interesting in that there's some randomness there, but it's not like a theatrics, but like counting up all those dice and then matching them. I thought that was going to be much more tedious, but it's actually really interesting and exciting.
Yeah, and
fast. Once Cody kind of, you were the one that, at least in my mind's eye, the one who said like, oh, I'm going to do a stunt point to do this and this. And once people started getting a little tricky, but not like one roll engine tricky with the dice, it got super exciting. One roll engine goes like 6 steps too far for me, but this is just enough dice tricks for me to be into it. I don't know if anybody's played a one roll engine, but my God.
Yeah, I did. And well, I should say, I was in a game where it was there and I would roll the dice and then people would tell me what to do with them. So that was what I played.
That's about how I play the game.
I would be interested in seeing a roll where, because in theory, rules as written, right, you get XP on a botch. It would be interesting to try and use stunt points to get yourself XP and force yourself into a botching position.
Oh, that's true. You totally could.
So we actually had one roll that was very close to a botch during this session. And I remember thinking at the time, you could use one stunt point to change one of the die, and then it would have been a botch.
Right. It would have been a botch, and then you could get the XP for it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Cool stuff. I mean, that's a neat realization. And you guys are just crazy enough to do it. I would would never botch myself. No, my experience is that I survive. This is good stuff. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much. This has been a pleasure. Did I skip over anybody? I just, in my mind's eye, I was like, oh, we went left to right, and I know that Steve was the farthest on the right. So I apologize, Sherry. That was not on purpose, I promise.
Like I said, everyone articulated my kudos very well.
Good. All right, well, friends, I will let you go a few minutes early. Thanks again for playing me on City Overdrive in Star Wars. You made delightful characters and told an amazing story. I hope to game with you again very soon.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.